All I can say to you is that you are a disgrace. I'm an 80-year-old woman, and I've never seen anything like this. I grew up in the Jim Crow South, and the policies that you're passing in this city remind me of the Jim Crow South. I had to drink out of a colored water fountain, where the whites would drink out of a white water fountain. But you know what I didn't have to worry about? Going back to my community and it would be destroyed. And everybody else is in my community but Black people. And this is what you've done with this immigration. You have allowed all these people, you brought all these people into this city. You are destroying this city. And the Black community is flooded with all of these immigrants, violent ones, prostitution, gangs. You did that. You are doing this to your people. You are an absolute disgrace to me. Like I said, I drank out of that colored water fountain, but I could go back to that Black community that was intact. Women are crying. Taxes are going up. What am I going to do with my children? Where are we going to go and live? This is because of you, Brandon Johnson. You're destroying the South Side of Chicago with your policy, all under the Democratic Party. You are a disgrace.
So, as you all have seen, yes, she has all the smoke for Brandon Johnson. She's saying that he's a disgrace with the different policies that he is out here implementing, allowing these illegals to just come into these Black communities, primarily Black communities, and just be living it up in here. As we have seen with this open border policy. What we have seen with this open border policy is this. We've seen just anybody come in, okay? And it's not just Mexicans that are coming in. You got Venezuelans that are coming in. You got Ukrainians, some Russian. You got Haitian people. I mean, you got people, Chinese people. You got people from all over coming in, okay? There's no vetting process for these people, okay? So if I wanted to go, and I keep saying Germany or Russia because these are two countries I really want to go to. So if I wanted to go to Germany or Russia, I would need a passport, right? And depending on which one, especially I know for a fact with Russia, you need a visa, okay? So I need all of these documentations before I can even think to go over there, right? Before I can even get on a plane, right? They don't. They could just come in, especially the ones that's coming in through Mexico. They could just come in. They got the cartel. The government's paying a cartel. Let these people come in. They got apps on the phone to say, okay, well, I want to go to LA. I want to go to Chicago. I want to go to New York. What? So you could just pick and choose where you want to go, but I can't? I don't know. Make that make sense. That don't make sense to me, you know? So that's one of the main issues that's going on. Then, as we've seen in different areas, and I'm just going to go and say what it is because there's so many different cities doing this. Driver's license. You could just go and get a driver's license if you're not even legally supposed to be here. Where they do that at? You got food, okay? You got, they getting debit cards so they could use for food and clothing. But then I'm seeing that you got illegal people on subways in New York selling candy. So I guess I'm confused. If this is supposed to be for you, if you have no job, how are you buying food and candy to go and sell to make a profit that you then are not paying taxes on? I guess I'm confused how that works. Okay. Because if you got a Black boy or really anybody, but we've seen a notable case with the Black boy who's selling roses outside of Walmart, and then another one who had a lemonade stand that a Karen went and called the cops and said, oh, you don't have a permit. Then the police was like, okay, let's work and get this boy a permit so he's not being harassed. These people gotta get, myself included, anyone who has a business of any sort, the government, IRS is like, I want that money. They could go and get the money because we're supposed to be paying taxes on it. But you don't have to pay and you're not even supposed to be here. I guess I'm confused. California, they're over here giving them the universal health care, essentially. But I can't get that. I guess I'm confused. So this is what people are talking about. You're over here giving these people benefits that your own citizens ain't even getting. What? And also there was another thing, I even did a video on it before, up in Chicago, where the schools shut down, because of like funding or whatever the case may be, right? They were like, oh, we can't open the school. But then they opened it up for a migrant shelter. I guess I'm confused. We know Cook County, Chicago's county. We know Cook County, they got high taxes. So again, I'm confused. Where's the money going? How you got all these high taxes? And then you're like, well, I don't know how we're going to pay for it. But you're giving money to all these other people. You're giving them 3 meals a day. Meanwhile, you got veterans and homeless out on the streets. Yeah. Okay. So I see why she's saying what she's saying. And she's comparing it to Jim Crow. So I like what she was making. I like what she was doing when she was making the comparison. Because she was over here saying how back in the day, yes, we had the Jim Crow rules. Okay. We were living under Jim Crow, where whites only, water fountain, black only, black people go to the back, etc. Right? In the restaurant, in the bus station, whatever the case may be. Okay. There was segregation that was going on. And she was saying, but the thing is, back then, and this is where my critique is as well, but the thing is, back then, we were more united as a people. And I could come to my community, boom, boom, boom. Okay, it's black people. We're all just, hanging out. Everyone knows each other by name and stuff like that. Everyone's kicking it, right? It's more of a community. Now, it's not so much. Now, I personally would not go and blame Brandon Johnson specifically for that. She's talking about immigration as a whole and how you're bringing these people over here. Okay. But I'm looking at it like this, like, yeah, I understand where she's coming from, but yeah, it's been bad for a while, well before he got there, but I understand where she's coming from. But I did want to rewind it just a little bit, probably halfway through, and we're going to listen to it.
But black people. And this is what you've done with this immigration. You have allowed all these people, you brought all these people into this city. You are destroying this city. And the black community is flooded with all of these immigrants, violent ones.
And that's also something I want to mention, because you're saying it's flooded with all these people. Brandon Johnson, I remember when Abbott was like, nah, man, we gotta deport them. We got that little buoy with the little, oh, that's inhumane. That's terrible. You guys are terrible people over there in Texas. Bring them over here. Same thing with Eric Adams. Oh, bring them over here. We will treat them better. Oh, say less. Buses them over. Then you're exhausting all the resources because you didn't realize how bad of an issue it really was. You didn't really care because you were like, well, they're not in my state. They're not in my district. They ain't over here. So you didn't really care. But now that they're over here, now it's like, ooh, I guess we got hiring freezes going on, which is happening because he said we don't have any resources, we don't have any money, even though y'all got some high taxes. So I was like, where's the money going? Okay, but that's also another thing to mention as we seen what was going on in Aurora, Colorado, even obviously Chicago, Illinois, and even I heard in Dallas, Texas, people were saying with the Venezuelans. We've seen, especially in New York too, beating up cops. It's a misdemeanor and you're back on the street? What? So you could just beat up okay. You're over here abusing sexually females. Okay, let me just go and say that. And we're seeing that often. I've seen quite a few cases of that. I'm like, what? Because here's the thing, you're not vetting anybody. You're coming over and murdering people. And this is also something I really don't get, because I'm like, well, why would you come to another country just to go and commit violence? And some of them, I don't think it's a lot of them, but some of them are committing it so they could go back, so they could get deported. But from my understanding, Venezuela was like, we don't want them. Y'all wanted them. You can have them. Okay. We don't want them anymore. So it's like, well, what are you supposed to do with these people if your own country don't even want you? So that's the thing. They're bringing violence to these areas. Okay. Try not to curse. But they're bringing violence to these areas, whether it's robbing people, assaulting people, or killing people. They're not, a lot of these people are not nice, okay? Because a lot of the crime that you're seeing, you look and be like, aside from your Ray Rays and Pookies, and you Ray Rays and Pookie be any race, okay? And ooh, I got a whole nother thing with black folks and the Ray Rays and Pookies, but whatever. But that's also another thing. You're bringing this violence over here, and it's like, what? Y'all, let her continue.
Constitution, games. You did that. You are doing this to your people. You are an absolute disgrace to me. Like I said, I drank out of that colored water fountain, but I could go back to that black community that was intact. Women are crying. Taxes are going up. What am I going to do with my children? Where are we going to go and live? This is because of you, Brandon Johnson.
I also wanted to mention with the children part about it, because I seen this story. Oh my goodness. It was this cute little white boy. And when I mention race, it's, especially something like this, it's just a descriptor. But I seen it was this cute little white boy. And if I'm not mistaken, he was heading to school or from, I think it was to school, and he was killed. And they said that it was by a migrant or whatnot. And I'm like, why? And that goes back to my whole thing. Why are you coming to another country just to commit crime? Couldn't you have committed crime in your country? Why do you have to come to another country to commit crime? I mean, what do you gain from that? That's why I don't understand. I really don't get it. Seriously, what do you gain from committing crime? What do you gain from robbing these people, stabbing people, punching people, shooting people, assaulting, murder? I mean, what are you honestly gaining from that when you could have done that in your own country? Not, I'm obviously not saying that's right, but I'm just saying, why would you come to another country just to commit violence and crime? I mean, what do you gain from that? I don't get it, So this just really annoyed me because he knows what he's doing. And he's just like, oh, well, because I guess they're not in your backyard. They're not at your front door. But it's like, you can't keep treating people like this. But let me know what y'all think about said story down below. Hello, hello, hello. I would greatly appreciate it if you can actually support my little small business called Latrice Limited. It is on latricelimited.com. So as you can see right here, I actually sell candles and a wide variety of other items as well. This is my big forehead, okay? But I actually want to show you just a couple of different items that I do sell. This is actually going to be a part of my soap collection that I have. As you can see, I have a variety of different soaps on here. I actually have 2 pages worth of soaps, and everything is handmade, okay, natural, clean ingredients as well. You can also see right here, these are my candles. All right, they're all handmade, everything vanilla, sweet roses, sage and vanilla and sweet roses are actually my favorite scents that I do have. I also have a few other items on here. I'm actually going to go and show you all the bath bombs that I do have. As you all can see, there's eucalyptus and sage, sweet pea harmony, and so many more. And then we're just going to finish off on the gift sets that I have. There's a variety of them, from like the big ones like this for $45, and then you have some of the smaller ones, and you have these itty bitty ones down here that includes essential oil blends. Definitely shop with your girl. Definitely help your girl out. I would greatly appreciate it. This is like my little baby over here, okay? I would greatly appreciate it, and enjoy.